Hello, my friends. Mrs. Surrett here. You might notice a little something extra coming out for Halloween. But I have to tell you, that's not the only reason my horns came out. My horns came out because I noticed that I just cannot get through to my friends what is test or study or experiment validity and what is test or study or experiment reliability. So I want to see if I can't drive the point home for my friends today. What makes a test valid, or a study, or an experiment? Well, very simply, it's whether or not it measures what it claims to measure. So for example, if a test claims to measure personality, and it measures personality, guess what? It's valid. Now, does that mean you're going to like the answers? Maybe. Maybe not. But when I ask if a test is valid, do not fall into the trap of answering whether or not you found the results valid for you. It's not about self-validation. I know, deep breath. I love you all. But it's not about whether or not that test made you say, yeah, that's exactly who I am. Or that test made you say, they have no idea who I am. And that's quite possible because these are internet tests that use an algorithm and maybe they'll get you completely wrong. When you answer for me, is the test valid? What you're answering is, did it measure what it claimed to measure? So if I took an IQ test and that test measured my level of anxiety, is it valid? No. If I took an IQ test and my IQ score was 20 points lower than I wanted, is it valid? Yes. I may not like the results. I may feel invalidated, but that's not the question. The question is the test valid? So be really careful when you're answering that to make sure that you focus on whether or not the test met its objective of measuring what it claimed to measure. Now, you don't have to like the results. In fact, if you're doing assignment 4.05 4-4 and you don't like it, please in number 4 feel free to tell me how much you dislike it and why. But in number 5, when you say, is the test valid, then you need to consider, is it measuring what it claimed to measure? The second thing I want to talk about is test reliability. And the question there is, if I took this test and I gave similar answers each time, would I get similar results? So if the answer is if yes, then the test is reliable. If I said, let's say I took a test about honesty, like a self-inventory, and all throughout the test I gave answers and it said, oh, you're very honest, and then I take it again and I give almost the exact same answers and it comes out and it goes, oh my gosh, you're a total liar. Oh, okay, that's not reliable. Now, a few of my friends have fallen into the trap of saying, oh, if I changed my answers, the test would give me different results. Therefore, the test must not be reliable. Well, think about that for a moment. If you gave different answers, would you want to get the same results? Absolutely not. That would make the test unreliable. So if I was to take a true-false test and I was to answer all true and I got 1 score, and then I take it again and I answer all false, shouldn't I get a completely different score? Unless I guess they were 50-50 true-false, but that's another story. The point is, when you're looking at a test reliability and you answer that if you give it different answers, you'd get different results, that makes the test reliable, believe it or not. So when you're taking it, make sure that you say, and some of you did say, hey, I checked the first test and it was really similar to the third test, and therefore, yeah, it's reliable because I got similar results. So that was a really good catch on many of your parts. But just make sure that when you are talking about test reliability, you consider, if I were to take this again and give almost the same answers, very similar answers, would I get a similar result? That's what you want to think about with reliability. So I hope that I have driven the point home about validity and reliability and that you will feel more comfortable on this subject. But if not, let me know and let's talk.